They call it the city that never sleeps, the city of dreams, the Big Apple, the crossroads of the world. It's said that if you can make it there, you could make it anywhere. So they come from across the globe with bags full of hopes and dreams, and the city welcomes them. But dreams are rarely what they are believed to be, for while the city may never sleep, still night falls. And it is in the night that the children of Cain wake and play out the masquerade in my city. Beware, children, lest ye fall.
Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to our new overlay and to our Vampire Nightfall, Vampire the Masquerade campaign. I am Simon at Wandering DM. Today I'll be playing Sid Zimmerman, the vampire private detective, Gangrel, for those who want to know. And with me I have a cast of absolutely wonderful players. Let's introduce them while I fiddle with the last of the cameras just to make sure everything's pretty. So let's start with Scott.
All right. Hi, I'm Scott. I will be playing Alexander Erickson. You can find me online and Twitter at berserker_rage, and same as Twitch. So that's what I'll be doing.
All right, and which clan is Alexander from?
He is a Ventru.
All right next to Scott, we have Quentin.
Hi guys, again, excited to be here. I am at Thragon in the chat and on Twitter, and today I'm going to be playing Herschel Akers, a very cute and cuddly Nosferatu.
And right above the cute and cuddly Nosferatu, we have Alyssa.
Hello, I'm Alyssa. You might know me from Twitter as @XanderSlamilton, and I believe I'm also @XanderSlamilton on Twitch. I don't really remember, but here I am, and I'm going to be playing the actually really adorable and super great Auden St. James, art critic, artist, conceptual artist, and all-around genius, and she is a Toreador.
And our story together wouldn't be possible without the help of our wonderful storyteller, Deirdre. Hi and welcome.
Hello, all. Welcome. You know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter. We're Parkscore Thesme4. You see me hanging out in the Twitch chat, and I'm your storyteller for the afternoon as we dive back into the world of, well, the evenings of New York and what happens to those denizens of the city that are more inclined to the darkness and wait for night to fall. Last week, after the brouhaha with the brouhaha in the middle of a street, Auden retired to the townhouse to something art-like with a bunch of pictures of Sid disarming said brouhaha in the literal sense. Well, Sid and Alex were used the information gathered by Herschel to gather and find the missing vampires that had been kidnapped, using video footage from the trains and knowing where to start looking because from information gathered from Rebecca Leibowitz, your locally friendly witch? Question mark. A source that Sid has used on occasions and is friendly with him. Backtracking through the cameras, you found Sybil, your friend, Malkavian of your acquaintance, who had been kidnapped and then escaping and then kidnapped for the past couple months, it appears. You tracked her, and the three of you proceeded through the tunnels of the subway, finding an old unused maintenance tunnel with storage rooms that had been, were originally created as watertight, airtight spaces to store probably equipment for the trains and ensure it wouldn't be damaged, that had been appropriated by someone as a more sinister means of cells. Two of those storage rooms were unlocked and had no one in them. But one had you managed to unlock the door and discover the missing La Sombra sect delegate? Question mark. A woman well known throughout the city who apparently has meetings with various members of the well known to the Primogen Council. A Sofia de Verenos. The other storage room, you found an older gentleman with salt and pepper hair, a scar across the bottom of coming down across the underneath of his jaw. But he was apparently been there quite a bit longer than Sophia, who's only been there about a week, and was nonverbal and passed out before you could communicate with him. You escorted Sophia back to her hotel near the UN. Alex had a pleasant conversation with her. Herschel managed to offend her in a general sense, beyond just his presence. You also met apparently her very dear friend, sister, blood bonded companion, or at least one of, Veronique Montbéliard, who introduced herself as a tribune of the Ventru, a rank unique within the Ventru clan. Veronique and Sophia agreed to a favor in the future for your rescue of Sophia. You took your leave after Herschel managed to also anger Veronique with his less than positive manners. Not even perfect, just good. Veronique also made mention of certain rumors concerning our dear friend Sid, and how those rumors could be Well, as she said at the end, reputation is important, and Sid might want to address his. You took the gentleman vampire who's slowly coming around, but you still very close to being unconscious. Came back to the brownstone by a car, and that is where we left the night. It was, early by this point, close to 4 o'clock in the morning. What would you like to do?
I start scouring my phone to see who she was texting.
It's an unnamed. There's no name, merely, and it seems to be a blocked cell phone number. What languages does Herschel speak?
I think it's not many. I think it's just like. I didn't have any written down. I think it might be just English.
Well, you're very aware that there are two blocked numbers that she was communicating with. One, then two different languages. You would need assistance discovering who they are.
Was it just like texting, or did she visit any websites, or?
No, she was just texting.
Okay.
There was also a third number in English, but that was a car service, almost like a livery service based in the city. You're assuming that's who she contacted about the stretch limo. And that's basically what it is. It's just asking for the limo to pick you all up at the 33rd Street station. But the other two conversations were in foreign languages and are blocked numbers.
How many languages do you speak, Alexander?
A handful? What language are they in?
I go to Alexander's room.
It's getting close to dawn. How late are you going to try and stay awake?
I suppose I have a few moments to look at this phone.
All right. What languages does Alexander speak? Well, one of them is immediately obvious. It's French. You would know that off the top of your head.
Right.
I don't know if you speak that, but you'd at least recognize it.
I do not speak French. It's not one of the languages that I have taken.
Mm-hmm.
The languages that I have taken are Russian, Italian, German, Chinese, and then
Latin. And
yes.
Greek.
Right.
Which aren't really languages you have to take. They're just forced upon you. Your adventure, you take Latin and Greek. So you would recognize the French as being French, particularly with both the Latin and the Italian, but it's like you get one word, maybe two, and it's not making much sense to you.
Okay.
The other, was it Russian, Chinese?
German and Italian.
German and Italian. The other does not look familiar at all. It's not any of the Cyrillic alphabets. It's not an Arabic alphabet. It's not a Chinese or Asian Chinese characters or Hindi. None of the scripts look familiar. It's a Roman alphabet, but it's not German. It's not Italian. It's not French. It's not Spanish, which you would probably be able to at least recognize.
Right. It's not Scandinavian.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I will hand the phone back to Herschel.
What does it say?
Unfortunately, it's nothing that I happen to speak. Don't they have web services that can translate these things?
Depending on what it says, it might be best if it's not put onto the internet.
Oh, I'm sure you have some private server somewhere that you can use. If not, I can buy one. It's fine.
Sure, I'll buy you a private server.
Yeah, what's one cost? $10?
This was the safest, fastest choice. I'll look into it more.
Good. Let me know what you find out. I'm kind of intrigued as to who she was talking to as well.
I turn back and whom do you think she was referring to when she spoke of who she served?
That could be a number of people. I don't know.
Wait, Veronique or Sophia?
Assuming it meant Veronique.
Yeah.
Okay. Because Sophia was the one who was texting. Veronique was the one who said her lord, who referenced her lord specifically.
I mean, like I said, it could be a number of people. I'd rather not find out. So, in any further meetings, please try not to piss anyone off. As difficult as that may be, please just make an effort. I would not like to meet the true death because of you.
Respect is earned, Alexander, not given.
You have a lot to learn.
We will see. And then I'll do my cape leaving the room. Flashing my gray sweatpants.
And as he's saying, stereotypes perpetuate for a reason.
We're off to a great start.
Sid, what did you do with the very lethargic, effectively sleepwalking gentleman that you rescued?
I think I laid him on the couch in the living room. So where my office would be.
Mm-hmm.
I assume there's an old. Well, no, it can't be an old dirty couch because we're in Alexander's house. So it's Alexander's version of an old dirty couch, which means that Sid probably can't afford it anyway. But there lies the unconscious person. And I'm keeping an eye over them for as long as I can until the sun rises. Oh, we have blackout curtains in the living room, so he's not going to turn to ash while we're sleeping.
You have blackout curtains in most of the house, purely because it's New York, and even at night, most people put blackout curtains up because the lights are just that bright. The definition of light pollution is the city of New York. You can see it from everywhere. But as sun begins to rise, you feel tired, all of you, and you go to your day's rest. We're going to wind the clock forward, but can I get Herschel and Sid and Alex to make me a willpower roll? Auden, I need you to also make me a willpower roll, but I'm going to give you advantage on this. So just roll it twice. We'll take the higher of the two.
One success. Ha ha ha.
This isn't, let me think. I have like magic resistance. I have a couple of things.
3 successes for Auden.
3 successes. Sid, you get to roll roll again with your extra die. I apologize. I forgot you have Iron Will.
I too have Iron Will.
So you get 1 extra die.
Sweet. So the pool mod, I just put 1 more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll just roll a d10.
Okay.
Yeah, I get 2 successes.
2 successes, 2 successes, 3 successes. Ooh. Yay. It's odd. Slowly, you experience something that you haven't experienced in, for most of you, decades. Not with this. Not the tens don't reroll on this. It's something odd. Decades, years. There's a dream that comes to you in the night, or the day, as it were. You don't know what it was, but you know that you dreamed. And it was soft. And the only thing you can recall, each of you, is sunshine, or the memory thereof. What should a soft summer dawning light that doesn't hurt or burn, and just kind of drifts through your mind as Sid and Herschel begin to slowly rise with the setting of the sun, just before the setting of the sun.
Well, that was weird. Let's go check out on our not prisoner rescue.
He's totally gone.
How?
I don't know. Spooky vampire powers.
Coming downstairs, Sid, as you prepare yourself for the night, you begin to hear the rousing of Auden and Alex slowly waking their ways up. Auden's alarm has gone off, and you begin to hear her music again. And
Does Auden wake up to her own music?
Not the music I make, but music that I've definitely had a hand in inspiring.
I was just curious.
Not that she's above it, but music isn't her main focus these days.
these days, as it were.
Yeah, music was just a phase.
Yeah, it was just a phase in the 90s.
She found new art. But coming downstairs, Sid, the gentleman is still lying on the couch where you left him. Still the sleep of the dead.
Does he look like he's feeling better? Like, we fed him a bit of blood the other night, but
That seems to have helped, looking at him now, and when you saw him in the hotel, he was positively gaunt, almost starved, where the skin was stretched taut across the bones of the skull. There's less of that now, but definitely still, to quote a phrase used frequently, boy could use a sandwich or 6.
well, I don't have a sandwich, but I figure Alex has some blood bags left in the fridge.
Probably, yes.
I apologize.
There's definitely 1 or 2 in the fridge that have Auden's name on it, and they say "do not eat," especially Sid. Do not touch.
Why would I want to eat your free-range, grass-fed humans?
Why am I
They're
feeding
called
you
vegans.
They're vegans.
Grass-fed humans, that's what they are.
Vegans to most, grass-fed to us.
Yeah, I'll go grab a bag.
He's still out. Herschel, you'd probably hear Sid moving around 2 floors above you. So you're going to go grab a bag for the passed out gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've all seen Buffy. Are you going to heat this or not?
What? No. Ew.
So you're going to give him cold coagulated blood. Have fun with that.
Yeah. He doesn't deserve to
It's
have.
more like one of those applesauce pouches at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the little kids get. You just squeeze it.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's a blood slushy. Cool. That's an image. All right. Thank you for it. I will
It's-
never look at a red slushy the same way again.
Look,
Okay.
we're fighting off the dreadful heat of New York City in the summer, so might as well have a blood sushi.
Okay. That's a choice. We'll move on. All right. But as you go to give it to him, he rouses enough to swallow. And then I need you to make a dodge roll.
God damn you, Mr. Prisoner.
Either dex dodge or
Yeah, Dex Dodge. I got like 4 successes.
and 3 rerolls.
I got like 7 successes. I'm
What's
not done.
another
Yeah, I got 7 successes.
You see his sluggish movements just kind of go to bring his arm fully across to you and like wipe you out, and you nimbly just step back and grab his wrist as he bolts upright. His eyes are slightly unfocused, but it's not the unfocused of one who's frenzied. You've seen that. You saw that the other night with the African American Bruja that you were fighting. This is, you take a second and look at him. This is someone who has a myopic stare, isn't really tracking very well the visual cues.
Hey, I'm not your enemy.
Who's that? Who?
Um,
Where?
You're on a couch. You're not in the sewers anymore.
And he seems to blink quickly, fast, 6 or 7 times, and you slowly see his eyes start to focus. Who are you?
My name's Zimmerman. Sid Zimmerman.
Where am I?
You're, in our domain.
You're what?
You're in my home.
Oh. Thank you. Apologies. Dominic Stevens, a pleasure. He kind of reaches out a hand to shake yours.
I shake it. I keep a wary eye on him.
He seems much calmer, just very confused, disoriented. You wouldn't happen to have some water, something to eat? I haven't eaten in days. It feels like I should be careful with what I eat.
He did swallow the whole blood bag, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you, I need to check your vitals for a second. And I'm gonna feel for a pulse.
He doesn't have one.
You, what's the last thing you remember?
Preparing for my lecture on 19th century portraiture of Russian nobility at the MoMA. I stopped for coffee at the bodega on 72nd Street, and was walking towards the subway.
And then nothing.
I woke up in the dark. It was so dark. I felt hungry and tried to get somebody's attention. I think I heard, but I didn't hear anybody. I started feeling tired, and waking up on your couch is the next thing I really could remember. I do apologize.
You don't have to apologize. You were just handed a shit hand. You're gonna have to make the most of it now. So, I'm not gonna go 4 ways about it. You're dead, son.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, you, look next to you what you just ate.
He kind of glances down on the side of the couch. Is that medical waste?
It's food. And I just bare my fangs for a second.
And you just watch him have the most British breakdown possible. He doesn't get violent. He doesn't start screaming. He just starts. I have, but I'm. What? That's not possible. I don't. What?
Sir, calm down. You don't need to freak out. It's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. You're, at least with, let's call us good vampires.
But vampires don't exist.
Believe me, we do. And you're one of us now.
And that seems to be the thing that pushes him over the edge, and he just passes out again.
And I'll just turn around and shout at the house, "Hey, we got a new one. It's fresh out of the dirt."
Auden was definitely coming down the stairs, heard this whole conversation, and then just took towards the kitchen. He was like, not dealing with it.
I'll go in the room. What did he say? Who was he before he was turned?
British.
Did somebody touch my vegan blood? Has anyone seen that vegan blood? Oh, wait, never mind. It's in the back of the fridge. Found it.
British professor. The something Russian history of the 19th century or something of other.
He was willingly turned?
Abducted in the subway from what he remembers. This smells like Sabbat trickery.
We plan to keep him then?
Wow. I looked at Urshel dead in the eyes, and say, "We have a habit of picking up strays here, it seems."
So it seems. Anyway, we have the hotel for those women last night. We have their room. I was thinking of maybe hacking into some security cameras and watching them.
You want to spy on a couple of women alone in their hotel room?
More like see who's going in and out of their hotel room.
That's a slight bit better.
See who they're talking to, what they know. It's all too fishy, her little Sid. She wasn't even worried she was captured when we showed up.
No. And I don't like that talk about her lord. I don't know, I'm not. We're not in a feudal system anymore.
Indeed. I want to know who they're talking to, where they're going. There's something going on here, Sid.
Well,
Something more than meets the eye.
I remember that was a cartoon show in the 80s.
All right, I have your approval.
You don't need my approval for anything, Herschel. You're an adult.
Sure.
Is he really?
Is he though? That's Auden coming back into the room. Is he though?
Having a Slurpee.
Yep, blood froze. Sorry, did y'all want some of this?
Depends
I'm
on...
more traditional.
Awesome. And she just takes a big sip because she had no intention of actually sharing.
Of course you didn't.
I was like, you want some of this? Oh, well, you better go make one.
Exactly.
Well,
Alex, as you're rousing, you can hear some of this conversation, particularly the shout that Sid made up the stairs about a fresh one. Can
Oh.
you roll me self-control?
Me? Yes. Sure.
You have to do it in the dice roller, but
Yeah. Do it manually. So what is it? Self-control. Yeah. So 1 success.
that works. As you're coming down the stairs, there's a shiver that goes down your spine. And you see out of the corner of your eye just the glint of bright red hair. And it's gone again.
Did he rip anyone's throat out?
he tried on mine, but, well, he's still sluggish, so.
So, you're telling me he's newly embraced?
Yeah, and he doesn't know who his, sire is. Doesn't seem like it anyway.
So, someone embraced this poor bastard and threw him in the cell.
Yep.
What in the hell?
Like I said, smells like Sabat trickery.
Yeah, it sure does. Something's not adding up.
Otherwise, the queen would have given him, given someone permission to embrace.
Oh, it had to have. You know the rules.
You just don't throw your own child into a cell after you've embraced them.
If it's a Sabat, I mean, this could have been a mass embrace for all we know.
Oh,
There could
I'm
be
not
more.
putting it behind it being a Camarilla vampire either. I mean, shit sires are everywhere.
This is true, but I mean,
Mm.
most of us have enough sense not to piss off the prince. Most of us.
I look at Herschel.
I look around.
Well, what do we do with the new tenant? I assume he's not going to sleep on the couch forever.
No, definitely not. We have enough child around here. We don't need any new.
Come on, Alexander. We've always wanted to have a puppy. We have now one. A cute little caitiff.
I thought Herschel was the dog, but
Dogs tend to be cute, and
Are you saying I'm not cute?
Herschel, you're more like a Komodo dragon. An interesting pet, but not particularly great to look at.
They stink of shit.
I think that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah, write it down, make a blog post, and remember it for later. I guess we need to figure out what to do with our new friend here.
Well, we can
He
try
doesn't
to.
have any idea who his sire is.
His
We have
memory
no idea
might
what
come
we're
back.
dealing with.
We can't really
Um,
put him in another cage.
Keep him fed. I mean,
Are you sure we can't?
No, Herschel.
We're
If
not.
we did keep people in cages here, you'd probably be our first one in a cage.
There's worse places to be.
We're not buying a cage for the new caitiff.
How are we going to figure out who was behind all of this, though?
We can try to jug his memory. Or, oh god, I loathe to say that, but we could ask a Malkavian to look into their mind. Probably find a locked away memory.
Yeah, we could do that.
Malkavians are fun.
Yeah.
Our own Malkavian seems to still be gone, so you got suggestions on where to find another one?
You just need to open the door, shout real loud, vampires aren't real, and there's a Malkavian that'll show up just to tell you the contrary.
Sid, your phone goes gives you a notification that you have a text message.
Ah! This isn't my beeper.
It's a text.
I know, it's like a modern day telegram.
Yes, a modern day telegram. Auden's definitely like tweeting that. It's like shit old people say.
Hashtag.
It's just like direct quote, hashtag shit old people say.
How frequently do your hashtag shit old people say go viral with the number of things you've quote Sid with?
A fair amount. Auden has a very strong Twitter following.
Sid, it's an unknown number, but it's just the text itself is just Union Square, 1 hour, leave the NOS. L train, Uptown Station, or A train, Uptown Station, Uptown side.
Seems like I have a date.
The phrasing and the structure seems familiar to someone that you have met and are used to these kind of meetings with. The phone number's not the same, but the phone number's never the same.
You're gonna have to, excuse me, I'm gonna have to get ready for my date.
A date with whom? I didn't know you were romantically involved.
It's,
Are you disappointed to learn it, Herschel? Like,
it's my girlfriend. She's from Canada. Her name is none of your goddamn business.
Sure it isn't.
her name is Alberta. She lives in Vancouver.
Blah, 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 like a Hoover.
She cooks like my mom and she sucks like a Hoover.
Someone's been watching a bit too many musicals.
It's for a new piece. I'm technically the producer on. But regardless, have fun on your date. I guess I'll just help keep your new pet here fed. I have no obligations this evening.
I'd be I'd be thankful if you did.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure I'll find a favor I need out of you later. But for now, this will work.
Did your date specify to come alone?
I look at Herschel. Yes. I'll leave my location on my phone so you can track where I'm going if I ever get kidnapped or something. Herschel, where's the location button?
That was it.
Sorry about that.
Beep.
Don't worry, Sid. It's always on. I'll be watching.
Yeah, you creepy bastard. Alright, I'll see you folks in maybe 2 hours.
Don't be late. Otherwise, you'll turn into a pumpkin.
What?
Like Cinderella.
I shake my head and go to my room and start tracking Sid.
Auden, we're vampires, not characters in a fairy tale.
I know, but it got Herschel to go away, and now I have an automatic thing. I had a plan here, Sid. Go on your date.
Alright. Oh.
As Sid leaves the domain, would you please roll me perception alertness?
Who? Me?
Yep.
Oh,
you.
sorry.
As you walk out the door.
I
Sorry.
thought, okay. 2 many successes.
There's no such thing. You can reroll those 2 10s, though.
Yeah, no, just 5 successes.
5. It's odd. You don't see anything, but there's a smell in the air. Under the smell of the river and, well, the garbage on the street. Trash pickups tomorrow. Most people put their trash out tonight. It's also hot, so a lot of that's rotting. It's a very unpleasant smell at the moment. But you also smell the restaurant down the street, the coffee shop, and something underneath that just tickles the edges of your sentences, and you look around, trying to see what it is or where it is. And then it's moves through like a wafting of perfume, roses and lilacs, kind of intertwined. And it brings to mind that dream you had last night. Well, yesterday during the day. Today during the day. And you recall, in addition to that feeling of sunshine and warmth, a feeling of laughter, joy, and you just see moving away down the street a figure in a bright fuchsia coat with a dark yellow mustard embroidery on it. Just turns and walks around the corner.
I follow.
Before Sid gets too far, I wanted to follow him.
I was getting to that. Since Herschel is going to come out the door, and attempt to do an unseen presence. You're gonna cast unseen presence.
Yes.
Also, roll me perception alertness. You just barely make out Sid going around the corner, and it's in the opposite direction of where, well, it's very odd. He looked like he was going one way, but now he's going the other. But he's moving quickly at speed, and he's around the corner in the flash of an eye.
I try to keep up with him.
Sid, are you trying to avoid Herschel? Because you can hear, you know that he's behind you.
Of course he is. Well, I'm not going to the station just yet. I'm following someone else, so I'll let him follow me.
Okay. Just roll me a stamina athletics
Ooh.
to see if you can keep up.
Yeah. Stam athletics. Yeah, that's Dex. Stam athletics. I am on fire. So just 3 successes.
It's a little difficult. It's hard to keep track of whoever this is, and the coat is what's drawing your attention, and it makes it easier to follow. And you start to pick up, you're within maybe 100 feet of them as the figure stops, turns, and you get the briefest glimpse of a woman who smiles at you and then disappears.
Herschel, you got that?
God damn it, Herschel.
I'll turn around and just look at him. Herschel, you don't have to hum the song.
How are you supposed to be stealthy then?
I'm gonna have to teach you. Actually, you're also gonna have to teach me how to... You know what? I don't think you can teach me how to move around unseen. Not at this point.
One day. Did I see who he is following Deirdre at all, or what he was doing? Any of that? What are you doing here, Sid?
Well, didn't you see the lady in the pink coat?
What?
The lady in the pink coat.
No. You were just moving so quickly, and I had no idea what you were following.
A lady in a pink coat.
A pink coat? How did you lose her?
She disappeared.
Like vanished.
Yeah, like magic. Yeah, like poof.
I didn't see any of that. Does that ring any bells, Deirdre? Like, do I know like vampires or magic or anything? I'm sorry, Sid.
Hey, Herschel, can you roll me a willpower or self-control? Your choice.
Willpower. Oh yeah, totally willpower.
Good. You don't lose control as a figure just literally does one of these right at the base of your neck.
What do I see?
Standing behind you is a woman, 5'5", darker complexion, almost Middle Eastern or even further east towards the subcontinent, a riot of dark curls kind of hanging in waves down to the middle of her back. Sid, you would now see the bright fuchsia coat that she's wearing over a white kind of jumpsuit with mustard yellow embroidery.
That's her. It's a neat trick you have, lady.
Well, there are many tricks I have.
Who are you?
Is that really the question you want an answer to?
Yes.
Good. My name's Serena. Don't talk anymore. Zimmerman, right?
Yeah.
We'll talk in the future.
Alright. Were you the one that sent me the electronic telegram?
No. You know who that's from.
I feel like you know more than what you're letting on, lady.
You have iron will, correct, Sid?
Mm-hmm.
Roll me willpower.
What does Iron Will do again?
This in this case is going to give you an extra die
Okay.
and the opportunity to roll.
Just one success.
That's okay. You feel a presence at the edge of your mind just say, well, it's easy to know so much when so many people are so open, and just kind of backs away. We'll talk in the future.
No, wait, you might be helpful for us. To us.
That's possible, but do I want to be?
Yes.
Why?
Because, we picked up a stray. His memory is all foggy. We need someone to go into their mind and, pluck out a few details.
You just kind of see her cross her arms, raise an eyebrow at you. And I'm the only person you know who can do that. We haven't even been formally introduced.
I know, but you've just proven to me that you can do it. Which means that you're exactly the type of person I'm looking for.
And what's in it for me?
Favor for a favor?
And you kind of see her slowly start to smile. Extend a hand towards you. As if to shake.
Yeah, I'll extend mine and shake hers.
She shakes your hand, turns, looks at Herschel. You know, it's a lot easier to get around the city if you don't hum. It's creepy. And that can get you arrested. And I might know a couple cops who will happily make sure that you don't ever come out of a deep, dark hole. Might want to work on that. I'll see you after your meeting, Mr. Zimmerman. You don't want to be late.
I give her one of these.
Herschel, roll willpower.
God damn it, Herschel.
Oh, Herschel.
I have Iron Will too. Do I get an extra die on that?
No, you get one extra die, but the DC is 7.
Okay. Come on, Herschel.
Do you have
That's
10
good.
willpower?
9. Herschel,
Mm-hmm.
you slowly start to feel your body being pushed away to the side of the street, and you manage to stop it, look around, and the woman is gone.
A parlor trick merely.
She can read minds.
For now.
No, she can do that. There's no for now about it. She can do that.
You were Gonna follow me all the way to my date?
I wanted to make sure this wasn't a trap for you, Sid. Strange things are going on. I
Glad
don't
to-
believe you're on a date.
Well, I'm glad to know you've got my back, but, my date requested that you specifically not be there.
Just me?
I think they wanted to make sure I wouldn't be followed. If you're going to try to follow me, you're gonna have to do a lot better than humming the Pink Panther theme.
I'll find a new song. They'll never know. Have you heard Don't Stop Me Now by Queen? That's a good one.
Yeah, I did. It's catchy. It's what the kids would call a bop.
All right, Sid. I'll go home if that's your wish.
Track me by my phone, Herschel.
All right, I'll head back to the palace or whatever we call it. The castle.
Alice?
It's just a brownstone.
Oh god, if Alex heard you call it a palace, I feel like that would go right to his head.
It's a palace to Herschel.
I mean, just
Well-
looking at the price tag on that place, it is a palace, period.
Well, Sid makes his way to the Union Square Station A train uptown platform, and Herschel returns back to the domain. We're going to cut back to Alexander and Auden with this unconscious individual on the couch.
Well, I've never cared for a stray human before.
Well,
Or in this case, a stray vampire.
not
So, Alexander, what do I do here? I mean, it shouldn't be that hard, right? I've babysat before. I've taken care of animals. It shouldn't be hard, right?
Most animals aren't likely to tear out your throat and drink every ounce of blood in your body, but
You've clearly never met a mountain lion then. So, what do we do with him?
let's see if we can beat him some more and try and bring this reality to him gently. See what we can find out, at least what he went through. He was in that cell for a few months.
I'll be sure to turn on the charm then. And Auden is going to go back to the kitchen and get another pack of blood. But she's going to warm it up this time and be nice.
Puts like a small umbrella in it.
I have Southern hospitality. I can do this.
Alex, as Auden leaves the room, you kind of track her visually and go to turn back to the gentleman laying on your bed. And again, you see the corner of your eye, that flick of red hair.
Gonna prod the gentleman. What did he say? His name was Dominic. See if we can get him to wake up.
Yes. You see him kind of sit bolt upright. I have not missed my lecture.
It might be a while before you get back to your lecture. You might want to notify the university and let them know you had to take a sabbatical.
Good Lord. Last time I took a sabbatical, I was 12 years ago. I was spending lots of time in St. Petersburg at the time, researching the portraiture of the Alexander the Second, Imperial Emperor of Romanov. Sorry.
let's just put it this way. You're going to have a lot more time for studying. I would just suggest you don't do it in the sun.
So I didn't imagine that other gentleman. Am I imagining you?
And I'll slap him across the face. Just a light open-handed
Yeah.
slap.
He kind of jerks. Is like, oh. My apologies. I'm Dr. Dominic Stevens, professor of 19th century art and Russian history at St. Mary's College, Cambridge.
What are you doing in New York?
I was doing a guest lecture at the Met. A series, actually. Focusing on different trends in portraiture and the meanings behind the use of various symbologies for various, particularly within the Russian sphere and the way in which different images were used to communicate different power structures.
Auden has definitely come back in by now.
Mm-hmm. Auden, what is your reaction to this gentleman's occupation, shall we say?
Intrigued, not her normal area of interest, but intrigued.
Mhm.
Putting on her most deferential art critic, sort of gentle, charming persona,
Mhm.
but not giving it away that she's, a great art critic. She's just, oh, that's so interesting. Tell me more, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Professor, I think you're going to want to drink this first before you continue to tell us all these fascinating tales about your lecture.
Well, it does smell appealing. What is it?
This is one of those just trust me kinds of moments, I think.
All right.
It's organic, don't worry.
I'm not usually concerned about organic. I'll be honest. I
Please.
don't really have any dietary restrictions. I mean, I eat pretty much anything. And
Just
he kind of
drink.
yes, of course. And proceeds to drink, and he kind of goes to town, and you see again that it's definitely improving his color and look. He's looking a lot better than he did, but he still looks like Herschel could take him without the gun.
Professor, if you'd like, I can get you a refill.
Would you? That would be most kind. I do. My apologies. I'm Professor Dominic Stevens. You are
Auden St. James.
a pleasure, Miss St. James.
I'll be right back. And she kind of looks at Alexander like, fuck this guy. He's weak. Like,
So, you're in town for the Met.
Yes.
I don't get it. What do they want with you?
My apologies. I'm sorry. You are. I know. I've been slightly disconcerted, distracted.
My name's Alexander Erickson.
A pleasure, Mr. Erickson. And he kind of reaches a hand out to shake yours.
I'll shake his as well. Definitely didn't plan on being the one to tell you that you are, in fact, no longer among the living.
Yes, that other gentleman mentioned something about that.
It's very eye-opening, to say the least.
That is one word or term for it, yes. Oh, and you see him kind of start patting like his pockets. Oh, I appear to be missing, well, everything. Might I borrow your phone? I think I should call someone, at least. Well, the university, of course.
And I'll go grab one of the numerous burner phones amongst the house and inform him, don't attempt to reach out to anyone that don't reach out to anyone you may or may not care about. There's a lot to cover.
Yes, I must let the university know that I'm indisposed, at least. They need someone to cover my classes starting in the... Ooh, what day is it?
And I'll tell him the date.
Which by this point is August the 25th. And he looks at you dumbfounded. I mean, my lecture was supposed to be on the June.
Yes, no doubt the university has assumed you've either gone MIA or are deceased, which I guess both are technically true, but
Oh.
it's been a few months since you were last seen. I'm assuming we found a receipt on your body from a few months ago, probably being the night of your abduction.
Well,
So again, if you contact anyone, remain anonymous. Being
yes.
dead has brought on an entire set of rules, as we like to call them.
Yes, rules. I of course need to learn the appropriate etiquette and behavior of the new environment and to establish some sort of identity, and you just see him start going through, like, listing in a very academic sort of way everything that he would need to do now that this is his new reality. He doesn't seem to take the phone to actually communicate with anyone. He just kind of sets it down and he looks around and, like, picks up a random piece of paper that Sid has left around, just legal notepad that Sid had dropped somewhere, and starts making very detailed, very precise notes and listing things that he needs to do. And it's like, oh, well, I guess somebody should, maybe I should call someone about the cat. Yes, I should call someone about the cat. And, little things like that he's going through in his head. Is there anything you would like to do with this gentleman, Mr. Stevens, before?
See if you can recall anything else about the night of his abduction. Now that he's a little more coherent.
I'm pretty sure I'd be supporting this as this is happening.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to... He tells you that he was walking across the street, and the next thing he knows, he remembers waking up in the dark. It was cold. He was in that room, and he doesn't know how long he was there until he started to feel hungry, and he was throwing things against a wall or hitting the wall to try and get attention in that iron door, that steel door. He says it's very odd. At one point, I thought I heard people speaking outside in some language, not one of my usual, but I couldn't really hear, and it was so much sound or lack of sound, and I don't know what was going on.
You couldn't understand what the language was, Professor?
Well, I knew it wasn't English, and it wasn't Russian. Those I can do in my sleep by this point. Something else I pricked at the back of my head, but it wasn't... I couldn't hear them well enough. They were just sounds and murmurs, and I tried so hard to hear through and didn't hear anything. At about that point, Herschel walks back in the door.
Herschel. Back from your mission so soon.
Yes.
Good God, what is that smell?
That would be our lovely roommate, Herschel.
Oh, my apologies, sir. I do apologize. That was quite rude of me.
No, you can.
No, you're fine. It's just Herschel.
I'm used to it.
Were you humming again?
No.
A liar.
Says you. What have you found out about this guy?
He's a white. You should address the professor with a little more respect. It seems that our dear professor doesn't have too many memories from that night.
From the sounds of it, he was embraced unwillingly and thrown in a cell and left to go insane.
Just a random act of this.
Which is odd because all the others were kidnappings for profit. Apparently, he was in town for a lecture at the Met. A lecture he didn't make.
For what?
Art history.
Roll my eyes.
Herschel, I know it's not your area of expertise, but do you think you could perhaps do a little digging on our professor? You have the computer expertise. You could go downstairs and do some digging into files and the internet and find our professor.
And what would that do for us? He remembers nothing. He knows nothing. What does art history have to do with kidnappings for profit?
We could see if maybe there was something that was specific in his lecture that would have caused him to get kidnapped, and it would also get the smell out of his room.
Perhaps I'll stay.
I thought you might say that.
But perhaps I won't. I'll leave. And I don't want to do anything that Auden said, but I want to look up that hotel where the two Veronique Montvilliard, and I want to start trying to hack into the cameras there.
Go ahead and roll me that intelligence computers with a difficulty 7.
Computers, it's around here. There it is.
You can get into their system, but you can't really pinpoint the individual cameras. You're in the network of the hotel. It will take you some time to kind of work through and figure that's what Herschel's going to be doing for the next little while. We'll come back to that. While Alex and Auden are answering trying to focus the professor for a little while. Hey, Sid. You've made your way to the Union Square Station A train uptown platform. And standing there is a kind of with a raised eyebrow at you, her arms crossed, and slowly tapping the foot of her very fine boot in this very fine pantsuit that she's wearing is Sabrina, looking very impatient with you. Yep. Sophia de Veronis. What? Sophia de Veronis is here? You met Sophia de Veronis. Sid, you just see her kind of, it's very odd for Sabrina. She has been, you know her. She's calm, collected, professional. This is half fangirling and half anxiety attack. As she kind of reaches out and grabs your hand and this very Italian looking, relatively short woman of about 5'5" with long dark hair and bright dark eyes reaches out and grabs your hand and goes, "You met Sophia de Verones?" Did she try and kill you? Okay, so that's a good thing. Do you think she might kill you in the future? Because if she's decided that you have to die, we might have to renegotiate our relationship, Sid. Wait. Other who is this other woman? Veronique? Who are you talking about? Okay, was not fangirling. And if Sophia de Veronos is here, you want to make sure that she's happy and that she doesn't want to wipe you from the face of the planet. Her brother was Giancarlo, or excuse me, her grandfather's brother was Giancarlo. Giancarlo de Verones? It kinda should. Yeah, he's one of the he's specifically one of the he arranges for the coup and the diablerie of La Sombra.
Simon, I think you're muted on stream, but no one else is.
God, yes, I am. Wow. Wow. Profesh. Super profesh. I hit the mute button by accident.
Only the highest quality here.
Yeah. So we met, talking about the Verones. I say that I'm rambling on. That yeah, we met, no big deal. But Sabrina's fangirling all over Sophia, and that's it.
Sophia's grandfather is
Was
the brother of
Giancarlo,
brother of Giancarlo de Verones. He's a they're a de Verones.
Yeah, okay, so big, important boogeyman.
Yeah. Also really good at magic and killing people and enjoying it. But she's weird.
Yeah, she is. She's a bit stuck up, too.
Did you say that? Oh, you're still breathing that, or not breathing. That must mean that you didn't say that to her face.
I did say a couple things. Like, respect goes both ways.
Okay, so not an out-and-out insult.
Hey, while you're here, any one of your pals might have decided to make a shovelhead out of a professor?
Professor of what?
Art, history, I think. Russian.
No one I know is looking at Russian art history. A couple of people are looking at a couple Russian nuclear physicists, but I don't think that's what you're talking about.
Why would you look for nuclear physicists?
The same reason a bunch of people are looking at various infectious disease doctors. So many things got lost with the fall of, well, the Iron Curtain.
Mm. Yeah, okay.
But a Russian art history professor?
Yeah.
Is he at least hot?
Who am I to judge?
Okay, yeah, that's true. You in that committed relationship with Alex. How's that going for you, by the way?
Swear to God, I will murder each and everyone who keeps bringing Alex up in a committed relationship with me.
Oh, who was doing that besides me?
The whole city of New York.
If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck and it cracks like the duck, you are seriously looking at a duck, honey. Doesn't have to be sexual. Commitment goes long term. I mean, look at Sofia de Verones. Her committed relationships are complicated as fuck.
I don't know, hers look kinky.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
Who's this other describe them? You can't do this to me.
Tall, blonde, hot.
No, that's Sophia.
Yeah. Isn't that the one you wanted me to describe?
I know what Sofia de Verones looks like. Also, if she's in this city, there are more concerns, and I need to know about it so that I can start making sure that I don't end up dead.
Alright, the other one was...
You describe what Veronique Montbéliard looks like?
Yeah. I might have Yes, I know it's in the drive. I need to go pick it up.
I'm not talking. That was for Alyssa.
Yeah, that
Oh.
was for me because I forgot to pull the drive up. I'm a very prepared person, except for today.
So just to clarify, Sophia is the one we saved, the one we
Yes.
rescued.
Sophia is the one you saved. Veronique is the one who came in later.
Later.
Veronique
Who's the
is
Venture?
yes,
The
she's
Tribune of the
Venture
Venture.
Tribune,
So,
which is a weird title.
yeah, I know, but then the Tribune has blood bonded the La Sombra.
That's really weird.
Which is, yeah, I know.
And Sabrina is saying that Sophia is very weird.
Yeah, and Sophia is supposed to be like this big shot vampire, and yet she's licking the boots of a Ventru.
Was that really what that relationship looked like to the two of you?
I don't know, there must have been licking involved.
Really, there wasn't.
Blood. Of blood. Licking of blood.
There was sharing of blood. Definitely.
Yeah, but you know, at some point, blood bonds just go all weird.
We'll find out. Maybe. So you describe Veronique to her.
Yeah.
And she looks you dead in the eye and said, Lisette Boudreau is here?
The fuck is that name?
You have Sophia de Verones and Lisette Boudreau in the same city. Did you see a tall, black gentleman, undercut, complex braids, wearing purple Toreador?
Whew, I thought you were going to mention the guy I disarmed.
No, the guy you disarmed is the blonde
Yeah,
Bruja.
but
No.
the other one wasn't. It was
No.
a Bruja, so no, I haven't met any that matches description.
If Lizette is here and Sophia is here, you can bet Ignatius is here. Or will be soon.
So we have a trio of important vampires, one of which was kidnapped. Actually, that might make things a little more interesting.
Interesting? Yeah. Desirous for me to leave the frickin' city? Yes.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be mean or anything, but you're within Camarilla territory. You should actually get out of the city at some point.
Politics. The Great Divide. Yeah, and I really should leave. But it's so entertaining. Ugh. If the three of them are here, watch yourself, Sid.
It's okay, that Lizette character owes me.
Yeah, watch yourself. And she kind of looks you and looks around and glances at the platform. You've moved yourselves out of the way of the general push and hush so that you could be closer to the trains and let the trains overwhelm most of your conversation, at least from the sounds of mortals. Lizette Boudreau served the Prince of London, Sid. Be careful.
Well, hopefully they're not here to stage a coup against our queen.
Coup? Maybe not. Rearrange the city to better serve themselves? That's a possibility.
Well, they're in the new world now. They're gonna have to play by our rules.
I don't think Sophia de Veronis or Lizette Boudreau have played by anybody's rules but their own in the last 150 years. Good luck.
I'm leaving that to the queen. This is so above my pay grade.
You're the one that said you made a deal with them.
They owe me, that's different.
Is it, though?
Yeah, pretty sure it is.
I hope that stays true. Keep yourself safe, Sid. Also, you might want to watch out because certain people aren't happy to not have a functioning arm.
Oh, boo hoo hoo.
I mean, he is a Bruja. They do whine a shit ton.
Brew hoo hoo. You mean brew hoo hoo?
Look, they wanted to dance. They got their dance.
Hey, I'm not saying anything. I'm just surprised you left them alive. Honestly, if it was me, well, waste not, want not.
I'm not about to drain another vampire.
And that's why you're a good guy, Sid.
No, that's why I'm civilized.
But whose definition of civilized? In the end, it's all just politics, and whoever's on top, they make the rules. But they don't stay there forever. It changes and flows, and history shifts. You guys might be ahead in this city now, but will you be in there in the long term?
We'll see about that.
Keep yourself alive, Sid. You're entertaining. Also, if you could totally, possibly text me a picture of Sophia de Veronis when you meet her next, I would totally love you for it. Bye. Okay? Yeah, okay. Bye. She kind of laughs and steps onto the approaching A-Train Express uptown.
I'll take my phone and I'll call Herschel.
Yes.
Do you mind snapping a pic of the blonde lady in the room?
I am kind of creepy, but what's it for?
A friend.
Yeah, I'll do my best, Sid. Security's kind of tight. I'll keep working on it.
Cool.
Hey, Herschel, you want to roll that wits computer, see how much further you've gotten in this time period?
Oh, yeah. Still 7?
Mm-hmm. Still 7. Don't get any further. And as you're working through and you're trying to get specifically to the floor, that penthouse suite that you know Sophia and Veronique are on, you trip something and you know it, and you start to back out. As you're backing out of the system and clearing yourself out of the way, and you're pretty sure you got out without being tracked, can you roll me a Dex dodge, please, Herschel? Difficulty 8.
Dex dodge.
Wait, is your computer going to physically attack you?
Probably. Just punch me straight through the screen.
The CD tray will open up and fire out a disc.
Wi-Fi going in for a whoop ass.
You can re-roll that 10. With 4 successes, just as you're concentrating on backing out of this whole system and really concentrating, you glance to the side just as you see the shadows of the coming off the screen slowly start to reach out as if to wrap around your wrist that's holding the mouse. And you jerk your hand away just in time. And then you kind of just see the shadow kind of turst and flip you off and then just kind of dissolve.
Shake my head at it.
I told you turn the fucking lights on.
What flaw did you take?
Oh boy.
No. That's La Sombra.
I was gonna say, what flaw didn't he take, if I recall correctly?
That too.
This sounds La Sombra to me.
That means we'd have a La Sombra in the house.
Oh no, that means you have a La Sombra anywhere there's a shadow.
I didn't tell him where we lived.
No, Alex did that.
Yeah. And even if I hadn't, that wouldn't have mattered.
It would have made me feel better.
So, Sid, after Sabrina leaves you on the platform of the A train, where would you like to go? You finished your conversation with Herschel.
Honestly, I'd go for a hunt.
What are you hunting?
I don't know, spend some time walking the streets of the seedier parts of New York, and I'll try to find someone who's committing a crime.
Not that hard to do in Bloomberg City, apparently. It's a growing problem. Petty crime is up. Lots of petty crime is up. But also a lot of violence, aggressive bullshit crimes. You see a couple guys, how angry is Sid and who does he want to rough up? He's got his choice.
I mean, petty theft is petty. If I see someone doing something a bit more violent, I might intervene and get into a scrap with them and then use that opportunity to...
Yeah, it's not hard to do. You intervene in a fight that looks like an older Jewish man who's trying to fend off somebody who's trying to grab his bag but is a little violent with that mugging going on, a little shoving, a little punching. Somebody pulls out a switchblade in the middle of it, at which point you intervene, and it's now a fight between you and a young hothead with a switchblade and not very good control of it.
Oh well.
Do you desire a full dinner, or are you just going to graze, as they say?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm at 8 blood points out of a possible 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, I'm not gonna kill them in the street, but I'll try to move the fight to
A back alley.
a back alley,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, I'll drink until I'm full.
Just roll willpower. Let me just see whether or not you kill this guy.
Do I roll my iron will?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like 2 dice, right?
Yep. In this one.
Just 1 success.
You manage to stop yourself before you drain him all the way. But he's probably not going to be doing much of anything for the next couple days.
Good.
But you back at the house as Sid's finishing his dinner. Alex, the doorbell rings.
Sure.
Hello. You see a relatively medium height woman with long, dark black hair and falling in waves to the middle of her back. Complexion giving the more Middle Eastern or South Asian or Indian subcontinent look, with her dark black eyes, in a bright fuchsia coat over a white jumpsuit with a mustard yellow embroidery.
Yes.
You're Alexander, correct?
I am, and you are?
I was invited.
You were invited. Well, invited. Do you have a name? Or should I just call you invited?
Well, it's always good to be called invited. One hates to show up when one's uninvited. But why do you desire my name?
Well, unlike the others that live here, I happen to take joy in knowing who I'm talking to.
You like to know things.
Don't we all?
But what's real, Alexander? What's true?
Everything you can hold is real.
Is it? Is it? Well, call Mr. Zimmerman and inform him that I'm here, please.
And I'll give Sid a call.
Hey.
I have a house guest. Are you expecting company?
Oh yeah. She's coming over to look through our new guest's mind. The professor.
Does she have a name? She likes to play coy.
Yeah, you should ask Herschel that. I think he asked her name.
I'm sure he did it with the manners of a large buffalo. Very well. That's all I needed. Are you on your way back?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Then I'll hang up the call. Come in.
I thank you for your hospitality, Mr. Erickson.
I believe the professor is in the back, and I'll escort her to the professor.
As this woman follows you, walks back into the conference room where the professor is still furiously writing notes and occasionally looking at Auden and asking, well, would it be appropriate for, I don't wish to presume, but is this whole thing with crosses and garlic, is that true or not true?
Oh, the crosses are definitely true, Professor.
Oh, Auden, stop it. It's a bunch of horse shit.
At least I find them to be upsetting.
Well, that's for other reasons. It's not because you're what you are. No, the whole cross thing and the garlic thing is bullshit. I mean, same with the whole running water and counting things and all that silly nonsense.
Oh, good. I was concerned about the counting. That seemed a little aggressive even for me. Oh, my apologies. And my name is Professor. And he turns and looks over your shoulder at this woman who's walked in behind you, and he stands to introduce himself. My apologies, madam. My name is Professor Dominic Stevens. Apparently, I'm a little confused. And she just smiles. Herschel, where are you?
Still in the basement looking at shadows.
Okay. Sid, you're on your way back. In that case, I need Alex and Auden to roll manipulation empathy.
Difficulty 6.
Difficulty 7.
7.
Ooh, good.
1 success.
And you can re-roll the 10. Two successes. The two of you slowly begins on the outside edges of your vision. It's like almost the beginnings of a migraine as slowly this fog begins to creep across your eyesight, and it spins in front of you, and all you can see until all you see is a room, black, pitch black. There's no floors, there's no ceilings. It's like you're standing in the vacuum of space with nothing there and nothing underneath you, nothing above you, nothing around you. But you know you're still in your brownstone physically, but this is real to you. It feels real. You can stamp on your foot down and you feel ground underneath you. You reach out and touch each other and you're both there. And you see the woman standing next to you, smiling still. And the professor's kind of got a dazed look in his eyes.
Who are you?
Is that really the question you want the answer to, Miss St. James?
Yes. No, I don't. What are you doing here?
I was asked to do a service. It's a little hard to do it there. Now I'm doing it my way. Have a seat, dear. It'll get better.
Auden definitely takes a seat. Concern. Deep concern.
you sit and you go to sit, and I assume you're thinking that you're just going to sit on what is this black nothingness underneath you, like you're sitting on the ground. And as you sit down, it's almost like you sit into a chair. There's still nothing that you can see. It's just inky blackness in every direction. But there's something holding you up, and there's something touching you.
How is this possible? What is this place?
A construct. And she'll tilt her head and look at Alex. Mr. Erickson, this is your home, and you've extended me hospitality.
I have.
It is your desire that I determine this gentleman's state.
I believe that's what Mr. Zimmerman would allow. We'd like to find out what happened. As you see, he's newly turned.
Yes. He still smells fresh. But is you confirm that I have hospitality here and my actions are allowed within that boundary?
Within reason. Yes.
Good.
No violations of the masquerade, I would assume.
Masquerade. You know, at one point it really was a good idea. I think it may have grown a little outside its control.
Oh, look, I'm not one to argue with the Convention of Thorns.
Really, it was a party that wasn't the best time. The wine sucked, by the way. But this individual, and she walks up and pulls, almost looks like she pulls a glove off of her hand, shakes it out one way, and then pulls and shakes it out the other, and reaches up and puts her hands like this on either side of the head of the professor and stares deeply into his eyes. And I need you and Auden to roll willpower as a giant flash of light erupts from her.
Strictly willpower?
Still is
Straight willpower. Still difficulty 7.
one success.
One success. You manage to keep control as it looks like almost a fiery explosion erupts around this woman and this professor. And you maintain and you hold still, and it comes and dims and kind of pulls in almost like a sucking into a vacuum, almost pulling in, collapsing back on itself, until only the woman, you can see the woman, and she pulls her hands away from the professor, and he kind of falls back and lays almost perfectly as if he was lying on the couch again, but still in that empty blackness. And she turns to you both. Well, I haven't seen that before.
Care to elaborate?
He was... It was odd. I wish to speak with Mr. Zimmerman and that infant Nos that you keep in the basement. Odd, that is a good place to keep a Nos, however. I'm surprised you let him out in public, though.
We try not to.
He does as he will.
A Nos is a Nos. But, and you just see the blackness start to fade away, and there are spots at the edge of your eyes as it clears, and you're back in your conference room. And Sid, you're walking up the front door. And from your perspective, as you open the door, you just see this mass of black just kind of slink into the floor.
Is everything all right here?
Your guest has arrived, and
No.
she's made quite the interesting bit of entertainment, as it were.
Did you learn anything?
Oh,
I asked like everyone.
I learned a lot of very interesting things. That Noss you keep in the basement, is he around?
He has a name. He's called Herschel.
Hmm. But is that really his name?
Is it though?
You're learning, Mr. Zimmerman. And she'll kind of stomp her foot down and shout, Little Noss, are you coming up to play?
You hear like slow footsteps coming up. Squeaky shoes.
Herschel.
Of course.
Yes. What is it?
Where did you find this one?
Which one? All of these? They're just around, I imagine. Him. We found in the sewers.
The
Wow.
sewers, really?
Train tracks. Tunnels.
Underground. He wasn't turned or embraced the normal way.
How was it done then?
Artificially.
I'm sorry.
So you know how when a man and a woman love each other very much and they engage in intercourse, there's an actual baby that happens? And you know how modern science has achieved a means of artificial insemination involving both a turkey baster and a syringe and a petri dish?
Sure.
Well, usually a vampire, when they wish to embrace and bring about the change, uses their own teeth and sucking of the blood, and therefore drain and offering the blood to their own new childer. This person, she turns and looks at the professor, who's still dazed and out cold, wasn't embraced by a vampire. He was manually drained and then injected.
So artificially created?
Yes.
Why would someone do that over the normal way?
I do not ask the question why. I ask the question what is. If you want to know why, you need to talk to who did it to him.
And who did it to him? Do you know?
All he ever saw were figures in black masks with night vision goggles. It really is overdone as a trope, isn't it?
So that would be our black market kidnappers. So they kidnap him, they drain him, not themselves, and then used another kindred's vitae to turn him.
More than one.
Which is probably why they've been kidnapping vampires left and right.
What they have.
Wait, there's more than one vitae running through the professor here?
At least 3. To be honest, I'm not sure how stable this is. And that's coming from me. Well, stability is overrated.
Excuse me, and I'll walk out of the room.
Stable how?
Well, the more powerful the vampire, the more powerful the vitae. Yes. Good. You are not entirely uneducated.
What happens when you have multiple vitae inside one vampire, though?
Who's ever stronger wins.
So this could be fighting inside of him for a while to figure out what that is.
Mm. One of my friends attempted to, well, I say friends. He was a colleague for a period of time. And then he got involved in politics. It was tiring. But someone attempted to kill him with diablerie, and, well, that just meant he had a new physical remains to occupy.
That's the funny thing with diablerie.
Yes.
If you're going to do it, you better make sure you're the stronger one.
And this poor individual, well,
So right now, you may be bonded to about 3 vampires,
at least.
none of which probably know he's alive.
That would be my guess as well.
Thank you for your help.
Anything else you all need?
Need know.
Ah, what do you want?
Many things.
And she kind of looks you dead in the eye and says, you aren't going to get most of them.
Many people have told me that. Yet I'm still here.
Being here is not the issue.
It's a step.
Continue down your path, Herschel. You'll find yourself eventually. For an infant, you're not bad. Miss St. James, Mr. Erickson, thank you for your hospitality. I look forward to visiting again. Mr. Zimmerman,
Until that day.
have yourself a pleasant night. And she just kind of smiles over her shoulder as she walks out the door. And as she gets to the door, you just see her fade slowly to mist almost, and then fade all the way as the door closes quietly behind her.
So we are literally 0 steps closer to figuring out who's behind this.
We still have one lead we haven't looked into.
That's all we've got.
That, what's it called? Dogs of the Search?
Yeah, I believe that was the social media handle they were using.
Sorry.
Quentin,
Hmm?
Dogs of the Search.
Yeah, the fake Latin thing.
Could that have been the language the professor heard when he was kidnapped? All that fake Latin.
Do any of us speak Latin?
Alexander.
I do. That was where the translation came from. It was a very, very poor.
Want to speak Latin with the professor? See if he recognizes the intonation, the flow of the words, something.
I guess it couldn't hurt.
Got nothing else to go on.
Professor, are you up for?
Yes, apologies. Latin, you said?
Yes.
All right, I guess. I don't know.
Does the phrase, whatever the phrase was in Latin, mean anything to you?
No, not really. Although the words tone sounds familiar. Not that phrase, not in that order.
Does it sound like the voices you heard from beyond the door?
You see him start to look and think. Vaguely, it was very similar, but not 100% the same. There was a difference, a tone, a feel.
Well, I think it's time to do a little social digging, isn't it?
Yep. Well, Professor, you're welcome to the couch. Don't walk out in the sunlight. Yada yada, welcome to the family. You're a vampire now.
You're a stray just like the rest of us.
Thank you. I do appreciate your kind hospitality. It is a pleasure. I do appreciate it. Alex, and could you roll me willpower, please?
Why are you having so many hallucinations? The hell have you drank?
Not so much what as who. Two success.
This time you feel this slow, soft drift on the air and you stop yourself, but you see it still through the corner of your eye and you're just in control before you don't jerk your head back. This flash of red hair. And you notice that the professor looks almost directly at where that flash of red hair came from.
You're all right, Professor.
Yes, my eyes are tired, I guess.
Well,
It does take some getting used to this schedule.
it's probably a good thing that he's staying here then, with 3 different blood running through him. Who knows what'll finally take hold.
What would be the worst blood to take hold, I wonder?
I mean, we all have our flaws, some more than others.
What do you think it would be, Herschel?
The worst one? I kind of like slowly gaze at Alexander. Hard to say.
Well, if he starts to look like, well, we have a place for him at least.
That's
Yep.
also.
You'll have to share a room. Sorry, Herschel.
I'll move some boxes.
You, No, he can take my bed.
You do have an unoccupied bedroom.
We have an unoccupied bedroom.
It's on the map.
Shall we get him settled then?
This house is too big. Like, we probably forgot we had an extra bedroom.
Wow, our first world problems. First world vampire problems.
Oh gosh, this room we never used is so dusty.
Yeah, we're not gonna put a guest in there. It's only got a king bed. I mean, come on.
Well, Professor, if you'd like to get settled into the spare room, I'm more than happy to help you get settled.
I greatly appreciate that. Is there someone I can lie down? I'm not feeling so very well.
Oh yes, there'll be a bed downstairs.
I'll take Herschel aside for a moment. Hey, Hersch.
Yes, Sid.
Do you mind installing one of those, like, tiny cameras in his room? We need to keep an eye on him in case, well, we don't know what's gonna happen. I'd rather we make sure that we have some sort of early alarm in case something happens. Early warning system.
I'll go turn it on.
Wait, what?
What? Yeah, I'll put one in there.
Does Herschel have a camera in all of our rooms?
What? No.
That's a yes.
It's a security system.
And none of us took the merit to not show up on camera.
Also true.
Wait,
No, actually,
no.
I think Auden has
I
that.
cast no reflection.
Yep. Alden doesn't cast any reflection.
Nope. And I'm terrified of garlic, apparently. I took that as a thing.
But I think on that note, with the professor being settled in your spare room, and so many more questions yet to be answered, that's where we'll end it for today.
All right.
But how's everybody doing?
We didn't die this week.
Nope. Herschel didn't get strangled in the basement either.
Not yet.
That wouldn't have happened.
See,
Not
there
till
are
he
no
keeps digging.
consequences to anything we do. Yay!
Consequence free.
Yeah, you know, piss off all the elders you want. Nothing happens.
Hey. I mean, they
That's
owe
what
us.
That's what I've learned. You just say whatever you want to anybody.
The wrong lessons, Herschel. The wrong lessons.
So,
It was fun. It was fun. Yeah, I don't know. It was a good time. I just want to figure this out. Like, who's behind this?
Who's behind this?
yeah.
And who's behind the now new twist of manufacturing vampires?
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
cool. It's
Not with
not a cool
not
thing.
with a single blood, not 2 bloods, but 3.
At least.
At least 3.
Yep. So, let's go around the table. Tell us who you are, where we can find you on the internet. We'll do the same order that we did the intros in, so we'll begin with Scott.
So as always, at Berserker_Rage on Twitter and Twitch, and you can always find me here on Saturdays, or whenever else that Deidre or Simon want to involve me in anything. So feel free to tune in and check us out.
Cool. Quentin.
Yeah, again, Simon, everybody, thanks for having me. It's always a fun time. I'm on Twitter at Thragon, in chat at Thragon, and I'm just here on Saturdays for sweet vampire things. So Herschel's still alive.
And Alyssa.
And you can find me on Twitter at Xander Slamilton, and I'm here on Saturdays with all of these lovely folks playing this amazing game. So thank you all for letting me play.
Cool. And Deirdre.
Hey all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre Donlin on Twitter or Prexagorthesmiophorias. You see me hanging out in the Twitch chat, and I had fun. It's great. It's great. Even better when you see the backstage chat reacting to things, and they're like, "Oh fuck," and it's like, "Yeah, that happened. Good for you. You figured it out." But as for me, I will be Monday over on Role Players for some Age of Arcana as things are getting interesting over there, and I can't wait to see what happens. Then I'll be back here Tuesday for some more fun things that happen. But I will see you on Saturday for some more Vampire. And are they really consequence free?
Yes, we are. I'm Simon at Wandering DM. Hi everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for those of you who are watching on the VOD on YouTube. This is always greatly appreciated. Thank you for people hanging out in chat. It's always fun to talk to people as the game unfolds and the mysteries unfold in front of our eyes. We stream here on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. It's Dark Matter, so we'll be back for some D&D in space next week. Also on Friday with Castle Falkenstein, and Saturday with Vampire the Masquerade. On Monday, you can find me on Roleplayers, twitch.tv/roleplayers, where I DM Age of Arcana, my homebrewed campaign setting, and we are going to have 2 new players this week. So, come see. So before we leave, let's just raid our friends at Unmade Gaming. I think it's the charity stream today, so they're doing something for a good thing. And I forgot to shill, so if you look at the chat, this stream is sponsored by Magechan Press. You can go at store.magechanpress.com. Use code WanderingDM to get 15% off of all of your purchases, including Dark Matter, the D&D in space that I was talking about earlier. On that note, we'll get going. Ciao, everyone. Thanks for hanging out.